Hi, this is Michael Uslan. You're listening to Batman on Film.
I'm vengeance.
I have given a name to my pain.
The Batman.
Always waiting for some Batman to save you.
It's simple. We kill the Bat of Gotham. I'm Batman.
Welcome to the Social Hour, a Batman on Film podcast. This is episode number 142. 142. Let's ride. Pete Verra.
You're
How
still
are you,
going with
sir?
that. That's still your
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
huh?
That's
All right.
I'm going with it until I don't go with it anymore.
All right.
I went with Hey Now for years
Okay. All
Or-
right. I just thought Hey Now was a classic.
before I shut that down.
All
It
right.
was, but I can't in good conscience use Hey Now anymore because that show has gotten so bad that
I
I
haven't
can't-
listened to it in years. So
I can't pay homage to it in good conscience.
interesting. Okay.
So
All right.
so I picked up Let's Ride from a sports talk radio show. I said, I like that.
There
I'm
you
gonna use it.
go. Okay.
We're talking about the Howard Stern show.
Yeah. If you didn't know, I haven't
Yeah.
listened to Howard since he left terrestrial radio. It's
Oh,
been that
really?
long. Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
Howard
That's like
Howard
20
used to
years
be,
almost.
well,
2006, almost. Yeah.
was a huge part of my morning for like 20 years. It was, so you can
Yeah.
imagine when it first happened, like when Sirius XM
Yeah.
when the satellite radios really started to be the thing. It's funny. When I interned at WFAN let's say the fall of 2008, the week before I started, Mad Dog left WFAN to go work for Sirius. So I missed working with him for like a week.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's one of the only guys from like old school WFAN that I never met because he
So
left.
you listened to Howard when he was on K-Rock then.
Yeah.
Okay.
K-Rock was a huge radio station in this
Did
area.
you when he went to Sirius, did you give that David Lee Roth show?
Yes, I
listen?
did. And it was the worst thing I ever. It was as bad as you heard it was. It was interesting. They tried to do something. I don't hate David Lee Roth, but
Yeah.
he was not a morning DJ.
Yeah. I've never heard. I don't think I've ever heard anything like any clips from it or anything. All I know is that it was apparently terrible and it was like gone like super fast radio
As
time.
basically was K-Rock. They tried to rejuvenate K-Rock several times, basically just as like a playlist station. But as when Howard left, that was kind of the beginning of the end, and then David Lee Roth pretty much killed it.
I listened, or obviously not with, K-Rock, but indirectly with, it was syndicated.
Mhm.
And then, I saw Private Parts and I watched
Yeah.
that his old E show. Do you remember that?
Mhm. Yes, I do.
And then, I listened to him and, he was still good. The show was still good. The early years of Sirius,
it?
and yeah. And then it really went off it really, really, really went off the rails once when COVID, the pandemic hit. And then,
Because he's a big germaphobe.
oh
which I
yeah,
found out.
I mean,
like,
he's
so
still
yeah.
he's still doing the damn show from his basement.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, he's old and he's very frail looking, so I guess
Yeah.
it makes sense.
but I think everybody else is in the office but him. I think maybe Robin's not, but
Sounds like my
Anyway.
job.
yeah.
The only one who goes
I
in.
mean, hey, he rips on podcasting and podcasters because he thinks it's not real radio, but he's essentially doing a podcast, right? He's at home.
Yeah. I mean, his is live. Right?
Yeah.
And then
You
they
can do a
get
podcast
again,
live
and
from
then
your
they
house.
you could, yeah, I guess you could.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I mean. What is fake radio? So I would say fake radio would be something without sponsors. So straight out of Gotham's fake radio. But
Yeah.
but to be honest though, it's like I don't know. Like when I look at podcasting, to me, it's a chance for me to be on radio because I'll never be on radio. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, I obviously have grown up with a passion, like radio was what I went to school for. So for me, podcasting is really great because I kind of get to live out my
Yeah.
dream, even though I'm not good enough to be on like, you know, midday drive.
Well,
You know,
don't sell yourself short here. You know,
please. I live in the tri-state New York area. I love sports. I think I could be like 30 other guys in their mid 30s.
Yeah.
I think I can do it.
So did you want to be a sports talk guy or like a DJ spinning records?
To be brutally honest, I never wanted to be on radio. I always wanted to be on the other side of the glass. So
you want to be production?
I wanted to produce radio, yeah. Which was funny because like when I interviewed and I interned, they asked me like, so what do you want to do when you get on air? And I was like, I actually just want to be a production behind the scenes guy. And they were kind of shocked because like everyone wants, you know, to be famous and be on air. And I was like, no, I just want to be a producer.
Okay. You never know. You never know. Anyway, but I will, to be fair to Howard Stern, he did revolutionize radio.
He did.
Yeah.
No, he did.
I can't deny that, you know, and I was still a fan. I just don't want to listen. The show doesn't.
You still pay for Sirius? You still subscribe?
You know what? There are some things on Sirius I do like to listen to if I'm in the car, but I called to cancel, and they were like, "We'll give it to you for $5 a month." I went, "Okay." So for $5 a month, I kept it. It's the trick.
Funny. I just never thought I was like I've had radio is like one of the few things. Radio and air are the only things in life that are like free. So I was like, I'm not going to pay for this. I buy enough crap. That's my stance. I've been getting it for free my whole life.
I think that's the trick. Radio. You call them and tell them you want to cancel your subscription, and they'll give it to you for next to nothing.
I'm going to try that with other things, but yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Just about. Yeah. Yeah. When I went to cancel DirecTV, when they lost, the NFL Sunday ticket, that finally put me over the edge. I was I'm gonna cut the cord. And even DirecTV tried that. Well, they tried to give me, free this, free that, and I was like, I'm cutting it, man. I'm cutting the cord. It's satellites. It's over. Dying. Yeah, it's pretty much right.
It's over, man. It's all over.
Hell, they even have their own streamer now.
I did not know that. I've actually never. The only time
DirecTV stream.
There was 1 year we contemplated getting DirecTV. I think it was the first year the Yankees had their own sports network. So it was like probably like 2002. And that was the only time we ever contemplated getting DirecTV because our cable company didn't have the Yankees. They were going through some sort of channel dispute. And that's it. So I don't know anything about DirecTV.
I've never had satellite. I had it for almost 20 years because they had the NFL Sunday ticket, That was it.
I guess if you're a huge football fan, it's a big deal.
Yeah. And hell, even though I quit them because of that, I didn't even get it on YouTube TV because I just watched the Cowboys game, and then if the Cowboys
just watch the highlights on Sports Center.
I watched the freaking Red
NFL
Zone
Network, whatever. Yeah,
Red Zone. I mean, Red Zone's where it is, So
yeah, okay, yeah, that's what everyone says. Yeah. I'm not a football fan. Don't ask me.
Oh, but I know my heart.
I think Major League Baseball has kind of copied that model, and they have like a channel dedicated to like runs. To be honest, like every offensive scoring play they put, and I think that's what their red zone is. I think other people are stealing it, which obviously makes sense because that's how life works. Somebody else thinks of it, you steal for yourself.
Speaking of Major League Baseball, how about those Texas Rangers, World Series champs?
Did you go to the parade?
I did not.
Okay. I thought you would have went.
I thought about it, but I knew it was going to be a logistical nightmare, and it was.
I'm still mad at you for not going to the game. You could have went to a World Series game.
If they came back to Texas, I was going to get a standing room only ticket, but they didn't come back to Texas.
No, that's why you got to strike right. It's like, oh man, can you imagine being at game one? That would have been something.
Yeah. So, and
I told you to do that.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah, well, good for you. Good for Mike and Jake.
You know, it was like, I mean, literally it had like 500,000 people at the parade. And it's guaranteed you that it was a nightmare.
And that was it. That was the final piece of your puzzle, right? You've seen everybody else win, from the Stars, the Mavs, the Cowboys. That's it. You've seen the whole DFW has been a champion at some point.
Yeah. Cause I'm big, Cowboys #1, Mavs are probably #2, Rangers. And then further down is the Stars.
Did you get into the Stars in '99 when they won?
A little.
Yeah.
I mean, I was still living down in the Houston area, so it was
okay. So you're farther away.
It was hard because I don't think we had them locally. I'm not remember, but they're the only professional hockey team in Texas, so they kind of built themselves. They had a cup run.
Like, I think in the bubble they went to the cup.
Yeah, that one I was in. They were in the bubble.
Yeah, they were in the bubble cup.
Yeah. Oh, I know one thing. I said I told you off air, and we will get started talking about things that these people actually want to hear here in just a second. But I listened to that last Straight Out of Gotham podcast. You can find it on Batman on Film, and I couldn't remember. There's something y'all were discussing. I said, I think I know the answer to that, and I couldn't remember. But there was something else y'all talked about. This is part of witty banter, which is the best part of podcast, in my opinion, just like right now. But that the NBA in-season tournament, y'all are hammering it, right?
I don't like it. It don't make sense. It's very European for me, and I don't get it.
When I first heard it, I thought that's dumb as hell. And then the more I looked into it, it does. I think it's kind of good because it makes some of these earlier games mean a little more, have a little weight to them. NBA plays too many games. They need to cut their season. That's one thing.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I think it's all about just because players are all about load management, and they take days off earlier in the years.
And I'm sure that's part of it as well.
I think that's the big reason that, and they're all going to get $500,000.
Well, I think it drives a little bit more because, like,
I feel like it's hard to give millionaires incentive financially.
When you're a diehard, unless you're a diehard NBA fan, no one watches
Christmas.
No one watches it. Yeah. And then really they don't start watching. There's that first wave around Christmas, and then the playoffs, because playoffs last like 10 months. But it's
anyway, the NBA and the NHL like to stretch out the playoffs. The NBA even more so.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get into some Batman and Batman related stuff. Now.
What was that segment called? BSN, Bat Sports Network.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. It's not Kasab. It's not Kasab.
No, that's something totally different.
Inside.
You got to pay extra for those.
Yeah, you got to pay extra to know what Kasab is. That's a BOF thing. All right. All right. Let's talk. We're going to get to the main topic is Batman, and I'll hold up on that. But we're going to talk about the Merry Little Batman.
Mm-hmm.
The trailer dropped, new movie coming out, and we'll get to that in a second. Hopefully, Pete, are you hearing a bunch of banging?
Yeah. Someone's hammering.
Yeah, I'm going to have to apologize to whoever. Hopefully this filters out a little bit. But I have a contractor doing some repair work on the front of the house.
It's faint. It's not bad.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I had a little leak in the front window. House is still under warranty. The builder sent out a contractor, and it involves
Jake had a party and he broke a window.
Jake ain't ever been to a party in his life. He stays in his room. He either works or he's up in his room playing freaking.
Jake had a kegger.
he doesn't like beer. It broke my heart.
He will when he grows up.
He's 22 years old. So, all right. Superman Legacy. Pete, you got some news this week, right?
You could call it that.
I mean, a little bit.
I guess news has got to interest you. This doesn't interest me.
Well, first, the latter part of the news, or the former, was that James Gunn says it's coming out on its regularly scheduled release date. Okay, very good. But the newest news is that this character called the Engineer is one of the villains of the film, and they have cast that role. It will be Maria Gabriela de Faria. I do not know who she is. She's lovely.
I don't know who she is. I don't know who the engineer is. I'm starting not to care about this movie.
Well, this is why I even put it on.
I'm
I
just
put this
over
on
this, man.
I put this on the run sheet just because I thought you would be able to educate me and maybe other BOF listeners.
He's building his prequel to the Authority movie, which like I don't care about either.
Okay, I was going to ask you. I don't know who the Engineer is. I don't know who the Authority is either. Other than, aren't they? These are Wildstorm characters originally?
Yeah, it's a little extra money for Jim Lee in his pocket. That's what it seems like. I don't know.
Okay.
Like these characters are Wildstorm characters. I've read one Authority book my whole life. My mother picked it up at like a thrift store. She buys me comic book things, so she bought me this.
Yeah,
I read it. It was okay, I guess. I don't know. It's not my thing. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I know what he's doing, but I don't like it, and it's just. To be honest, like I may go off on a little rant here, but like I really don't know who's got his head farther up his ass, either James Gunn or Kevin Feige, because it's like one's building this Superman-less vehicle for other characters, and the other one's like, "Oh, my franchise is burning down, but like I'll hold on to the X-Men for 4 more years." It's like, can you guys just like adjust to the time? I don't know, like I don't get it. Like I feel like they're just like no one cares about the Superman movie. There's no buzz about it. Like there's nothing. There's like nothing. There's like 3 people who are excited, and it's fake optimism. You know, like I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. Like I just right now, like by the time this movie comes out, no one's going to care about anything.
I can't argue.
Man. I was excited for a font, and now I'm back down to being depressed about it again.
I just look. I was excited. I do like James Gunn. I'm open-minded-ish of what he plans to do with this DCU, even though I'm really, I really don't care all that much about it. I'll just stay with the
I'm
Batman
starting not
saga,
to care.
But I was, I said, okay, Superman, I'll give it a go. And I don't know what the film's about and whatnot, but I am just turned off by these, and I've talked about this here on this show before. You've got freaking a Green Lantern and Hawk Girl and who is it, Mr. Terrific?
Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, the strike's over. There's going to be casting announcements. I'm like, yeah, where's Pa Kent?
And I'm like, Kent? Who? I mean, all these non-Superman DC characters. And then now I don't even know who the Engineer and the Authority I thought were the Elite. Are they like the same, almost the same type of?
No, they're different. Like the Authority was like. This is the edgier, darker version of comic books. Like Wildstorm was like an upstart thing. Creators created new characters in like a new universe, right?
Yeah,
so that's what it's about. Like they're not villains. These are the Engineer might be the villain, but like guys like Midnighter are not. He's like a hero. He's a hero.
Like okay, but the Elite, I know is a DC.
The Elite are villains. They're Superman villains.
Because they had Superman versus the Elite. I remember that.
Yeah, Truth Justice. What's wrong with Truth Justice?
But aren't they kind of like?
Way.
Aren't they kind of like anti-heroes where they are doing?
I feel like they think they are, but they lean more towards the bad guy side. Like
that's what I'm
like
saying.
The opposite of Catwoman right now. Catwoman kind of leans Batman way.
They think they're fighting crime, if you will, but they'll go over the edge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that isn't the Authority kind of like that as well? They're similar in that vein.
No, I think I don't really like I said, coming off one trade, I don't know very much about the Authority, but I'm going to say that they are well on the positive side of the good versus evil spectrum.
Okay. Well, anyway, all of this combined has left me like pretty whatever with the whole thing.
It seems to me like this is more Justice League Unlimited live action than anything else.
I mean, it's like you can't convince me otherwise that these non-Superman DC characters that were mentioned previously, Guy Gardner or whatever, they're in there to help build up this new DC universe. That's why they're in there. You're going to have an elite. I mean, the elite. You're going to have the Authority movie. So we're going to have the Authority in it. So we're going to spin them off. I mean, it's just reeks of. It's the kind of stuff I hate about a shared universe. And so, like I said, at least
I really want,
Batman.
Especially considering what we just came off of Superman wise, like I really kind of wanted to go back to, like, the old school.
I just wanted a straight up Superman movie. I didn't want any other
Daily Planet, Jimmy Olsen.
I don't need no
stuff.
damn, I don't need any other DC characters in there. I don't care if it's part of I just make a damn Superman film. I think they cast the damn thing real well.
I mean, like character wise, it's Superman and Lois, right? Those are the only actual Superman characters
that they've announced. Yeah,
right. Like that's it. So it's like, how long? Where does Lois fit in all this? Is she just like? Does he just like fly around and meet her on the planet to talk about something, or like, where does Lois fit with all these supernatural? I don't know. Is she going to be in the movie? Is she just so she have a scene? I don't know.
Well, I think you mentioned. The MCU's got major issues. This the Marvels,
part
flop.
of me thinks Gunn is even too cocky at this point. Like he's coming off like, oh, I just made a trilogy about the greatest misfit characters nobody ever heard of. I could do that. Like it's just kind of like, I don't know, man. Like, just I don't know. You see the MCU kind of crumbling, and then I feel like you're mimicking it,
and Warner Brothers wants to do it. Wants to try again after they failed once with a shared universe, where this kind of stuff is starting to, sputter out.
I was actually thinking the other day, like if this is like the beginning of the end of the comic book, like if let's say comic book movies go the way of the Western, every once in a while a Batman movie will come out, or every once in a while a Spider-Man movie will come out.
Spider-Man, Batman.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, like what was the last like Western movie we got? I don't know. I can't even remember. So like they come and they go. But like, if this is it, like Marvel Studios, DC Studios, these whole big production companies, do they just go under? It makes you like, if they make like one movie like every 7-8 years, like, do you need a whole studio just to do that? I don't know. It's interesting. I just thought about it because people aren't paying attention. People aren't going to the movies. People aren't watching. I just wonder if people are going to be out of jobs.
I just can say about Superman Legacy is that I was excited. I have a crush on Rachel Brosnahan from watching Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
You like girls named Rachel. That's a thing for you.
Well, I'm married to a Rachel. But I think she's really good. It's Rachel Brosnahan. If you haven't watched Miss Maisel, it's awesome.
I have not. I got excited when he showed us that like date with the font. I was like, it just made me kind of feel like it just had that old comic book header feel to it. It felt classic Superman, and I could just, I started to feel positive. All right, maybe I was like, maybe Perry White will get cast real soon. And then they're like, here's this machine lady. I'm like, I don't care.
On the other hand, I could say, just to play devil's advocate here, try a little bit positive, even though I'm not very positive about it, but at least they're not cranking out Lex and some of the same stuff we've seen previous incarnations. But I mean, Lex will be.
That kind of has me worried that they think that they can't make a Superman movie without Lex Luthor. Like I feel like it's never been done. And then when they tried to do it in Superman 3, he was like a knockoff version of Lex Luthor.
I mean, Lex has to be in it, just like the Joker has to be in any Batman movies. Still haven't seen Brainiac. Come on,
I would be fine if they went smaller and just did Parasite. Like
Toy
Man, anything. Yeah. I just
well, anyway, we'll see eventually with Superman Legacy, and I guess they're going to be filming here few months where they start in March. So maybe we'll get some more information. Maybe we'll get some publicity stills.
Yeah.
See what these
it's a
folks look
bummer.
like.
I'm just not excited for this. Like,
Yeah, I
I'm
think.
not vibing with it.
And you're a fan, and I'm a fan, and we're not excited, and that kind of speaks volumes. Like, this is not on the radar of the general audience, and I don't know if the general audience even cares about. I mean, about more DC stuff other than Batman, especially after what's happened the last, since Man of Steel. But anyway, hey y'all, it's Bill Ramey, founder of Batman on Film. Let's take a quick pause in this podcast for these words from our sponsor. All right, comic book news. I got a email from DC Publicity yesterday about a little run in Batman comics. It's coming up, I believe, in February. The Joker Year One. Now, my initial thought on that, Pete, I don't know what yours was. Mine was like, we're going to do a Joker origin type thing again. Is that what this is all about? What were your thoughts? Just when you hear the title, the Joker Year One.
When I hear Year One, that strikes a specific chord with me, right?
Yeah.
That title means this is the origin. It's either Year One or Secret Origins, right? That's the beginning. That's usually where you start from when it comes to DC Comics. So when you say Joker Year One, you're like, all right, that's interesting. I have the Killing Joke. What are you gonna do? What do you like? The Killing Joke has been canon for many a reboot. Are we adding to this? What is this? Because I know this is part of Dawn of DC, right? That's the new initiative. So things.
I don't even know what the hell that is. I mean,
it's a slight.
I know that. I know that
it's a soft reboot. That's
okay. Yeah.
Things are slightly different. Whatever. Like, just keep reading your comics. You're going to be fine.
I mean, in some of the artwork they sent, the publicity artwork DC sent me, it riffs off of Killing Joke,
Mm-hmm. That'll be written by Zdarsky. It's going to be part of his Batman run. So, Skittles Batman will be a part of this. I know you're going to be really excited about that. You like the red and purple Batman. You're a big fan of that guy. So he'll factor into it somehow.
Is there an R?
Bill's like, no sidekicks, but you want to make Batman look like a rainbow? I'm there.
Well, I enjoy.
Robin's no go, but Batman can wear red.
No, he's not wearing it. It's in his head, right? It's going off. It would if you read the last issue, it's going off a chain. But anyway, it's the last issue,
right where I thought it was.
It's the one upcoming. So,
that final page of that last Batman book, I was like, oh, it's fine. Okay, here we go. This is what he wants to do.
The one that's coming out
was the last issue. The last issue I read. I didn't read the new one. If there is a new one, the newest Batman book I have, I believe, is Batman and Robin 3.
Because there's one that's coming out. It's available for our reviewing here at Batman on Film.
It's not the end of the month. I still got time before Detective. I got time. So it's not me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't want to spoil anything. So anyway, but anyway, I don't know. I'm not a fan of Joker origin stories. I don't need to see the Joker's origin. I subscribe to go figure, the Chris Nolan school of that. The idea of not knowing how he became the Joker is way more interesting and way more scary than him knowing that he was the Red Hood and he's a robber and he fell into that acid, or he's a comedian who struggled. So
I can appreciate both. I just don't like when they retroactively go back to something they've established and try to add to it. It's like Batman's origins Year One. I'm not a big fan of Scott Snyder's Zero Year. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not Batman's origin to me. But you could try it. You could do it. I know a lot of people love it. Go ahead, read it, enjoy it. I own it myself in various formats. Snyder's run is legendary. But his 0 year, in my opinion, does not compare to year one. We'll see where this fits.
No.
Fits. You know, like they've done it with other characters before, and they've reboot. Like Flashpoint was kind of like a reboot of Flash in a way. And they changed certain things. So we'll see. It adds to the origin. Blah blah blah. We'll see how it works out. If this thing sucks, we'll forget about it and we'll just talk about Killing Joke for the next 30 years. Like it's you know? If it's got chops and it can last the test of time, we'll be talking about it forever.
It's
just like BVS.
Crickets. The Killing Joke is kind of it's a hush level for me. It's a little overrated.
Oh gosh,
it's a little overrated. Even Alan Moore didn't like it.
Alan Moore hates everything, including himself.
So
Alan Moore hates anything that'll give him money.
No, it's fine.
It's
I can
fine. I gotta argue this, Bill. I can't believe.
No, I'll tell you the Killing Joke. I consider it a classic comic book story.
Okay, at least
unlike Hush, I just not a huge fan of the story, and mainly because of I like the multiple choice. If I'm going to have a origin, make it multiple choice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about the film.
I think that fits Joker so well. I think that fits him perfectly. There's some characters though I do like. Like Penguin, for instance. I love Penguin. The Rise of the Penguin, and they've done this a few times. It's always a fun adventure. Some more fabulous than others, obviously, but like that's something I like. You know, even Freeze. That's a character where the origin's so important. How he became Mr. Freeze. You need to see that to understand his motivation and everything. So it's all depending on the character. But
yeah, you don't need to know. You don't need to know anything about
goes
the Joker
both ways with me. Yeah,
at all for him to be the Joker. You know, I mean that's been proven.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even his, when he came to be in 1940, there was no origin. It was just. He just was, he just is.
I almost feel the same way about the Riddler to an extent. Like, I know we just got off Riddler year one, right? And I thought that was great. But the Riddler's like, I don't need to know the Riddler, like, necessarily love puzzles. Like, he could just be, like, like because it's almost like for him to be that obsessed with puzzles and riddles and to commit crimes, he's got to be a little off. So, like, I just assume he's a whack job to begin with, I
would say Riddler is a lot like the rest of those you mentioned that, an origin story is okay for those characters because the Joker, it's just, force of nature. He's just is. And that's what I love about the character. And one of the things I love about the Dark Knight movie is that we weren't spoon fed. He just, why is he like, where are the scars? Hey, where did the scar, you don't know how I got these scars? And that's a nod to the Killing Joke.
Right, how many phone calls I got after Dark Knight? People like, so what exactly was the real origin of the Joker? Like he talks about his dad and he scarred and everything. And I was like, it's kind of the whole point.
That's the point. That's the point. Is that
so I remember
it was multiple choice. That was that.
It's a great take on the Joker. I gotta admit
that part of the Dark Knight was 100% influenced by the Killing Joke because I asked Jonathan Nolan directly. And he goes, "You got that?" Yes, and that's when we became best friends at the Batman at the junket for the Dark Knight. Yeah. So
he comes over for cowboy football here.
Yeah. Every weekend. Me and Jonathan Nolan, Jonah. Yeah. I call him Jonah because, we're tight.
Yeah. Boys.
Yeah. So, we'll see. I brought it up, but just usually don't talk a lot of comics here, but if you're going to do a joking, I'm trying to say Joker origin story. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just.
It didn't seem like it's not necessarily an origin story as much as it's kind of. It does harken back to it. Like that's what I said. Like between this, like we'll see what Chip does. I think Chip can be pretty creative.
Yeah,
I mean, I want to see how he works this out.
If it's first meeting between Joker and Batman, I don't know.
But there's definitely hardcore references to Killing Joke.
Yeah. Have you read
based on the press release?
Have you read Batman, The Man Who Laughs?
Yes. What's that?
That's kind of the first Batman
That's
Joker
even that. Yeah, well,
story.
Killing Joke is almost like the final meeting of Batman and Joker, with the hint of the origin in it. Whereas like Batman Who Laughs, the Man Who Laughs is like the first meeting, right? Like that's the end. It begins essentially, right?
I mean, it's the Man Who Laughs is kind of like it was like supposed to be the pseudo sequel to Year One. So
Yeah,
then you throw in, Monster Men and Mad Monk and a couple other stories. They all fit. They're all part of this, year one ish early Batman. So okay, we'll see with the Joker Year One. That'll be on Lauer to tell us because Lauer reviews Batman, and this will be in the pages of Batman Comics. Batman, the flagship
Lauer Hour.
title. What's the flagship Batman title? Batman
Detective.
or Detective? That's what I would say.
Detective.
Yeah.
It just came out first.
That's what I say.
Detective in Action.
Yeah.
They're the originals.
Yeah. I always consider Detective Batman flagship title. I'm having pronunciation problems this morning. All right. All right. Merry Little Batman. When you saw this when it first was announced, and I know you read it from Batman on Film. What did you think?
When I thought this
A
looked
kid,
like,
a family-oriented kid movie.
I thought it looked like the Aquaman cartoon they made for HBO Max, which was hysterical. And then I saw the trailer and I thought this was hysterical. I can't wait to see this. I think this is fun. Interesting. They gave Batman a beard, but they did make a joke out of it. There's supposed to be jokes in this, so I was able to laugh at it. It's not the Batman. There don't need to be jokes in that. This looks just entertaining. I know people are really off put by the style of art. That doesn't bother me, but I like where they're going. I think Damian's very funny. Two things DC has done recently very well is the Harley Quinn, the animated series, and their recharacterization of Damian, because I think for a character I used to hate in Damian, I've really got a soft spot for him now. Him and Jason Todd have really changed courses a lot. So I'm excited to see that and just where it goes and Damian's adventures. It looks like the Joker's pretty, I say, maybe 60s-ish, right? Like, I don't know. He's not really sinister. It seems like he's kind of more of the clownish Prince of Crime.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say? Like, that's kind of like the vibe they're going for, I guess, right? Because he's not going to be murderous. I don't know. We'll see how it is.
It's
the more lighthearted take on the Joker.
He's kind of like,
I think it looks good though.
He's like the Grinch, it seems, in this particular. If you watch the trailer, which we're talking about, generally, you know that it's essentially you take Home Alone, and Damian is the Kevin character, and instead of being at the house, he's alone in Gotham by himself as the Joker, and I guess whatever
dressed
other
as
Batman. Yeah, little Batman. That's why it's Merry Little Batman. And he is he's Batmaning on his own because Bruce Wayne, his father, that the Batman gets called away by the Justice League on Christmas Eve, and so he's like all of Gotham is the house instead of like in Home Alone.
I'm excited to see what the villains look like. Like the art actually kind of interests me because it's so unique. And again, like I watched that Aquaman cartoon that came out a few years ago on HBO Max, and I thought that was really well done and very funny. And the art's very weird in that too. So this is kind of like a thing, a style of art in general. I don't know too much about it, but it doesn't really bother me as long as it's real.
No, it doesn't bother. I don't mind.
It's a cartoon.
Crazy cartoon art like that at all. Exaggerated stuff. I think it looks cool. I like the fact that here is something that's Batman that's aimed for families and kids. And, people complain, I've heard it, why does Batman have to be so dark? Well, he doesn't have to be dark all the time because he's not. And here's something right here, looking for something. No, I wouldn't bring, a 5-year-old to go see the Batman. I wouldn't bring him to see the Dark Knight trilogy. But
who said this to me on Twitter? Jeff Hunter. He said, Batman's been really dark for like the last 40 years. This is right up my alley. Like he was really excited about it.
Well, I don't. That's a valid point. I mean, here's something you can watch at the holidays, and you can include your kid. Your kids, and then you know what? Maybe they become Batman fans because of it.
Yeah, I mean, imagine just you start Batman Returns, Christmas with the Joker, Merry Little Batman. That's it. They're hooked.
I'm with you on Christmas with the Joker and Merry Little Batman. With you on that. But look, I'm looking forward to watching it. I thought the trailer was cute. I thought there was some funny. I'm sure when I say it's for kids, it's not like Bat Wheels. You know what I mean? Right. This is one of those things that
it teeters the line. I guarantee you there's going to be some jokes that are for adults.
Yes, exactly. Right? Yes, it's something that's quote unquote targeted at kids, but it's wink wink.
I love superhero
for
stuff
the grown-ups
set around Christmas too, as well. Like Shazam, even Hawkeye as well. Like comic book stuff. To me, it's fun. Like there's something about like I don't know, watching heroes involved with snow that just is interesting to me. I don't know.
So I know it's getting a lot of the comparables you see in the few articles we've got and some of the press stuff I've got is they do compare it to Home Alone, but I'm sure it's its own thing as well, and that's okay to it's a nod to Home Alone. That's fine. It's kind of a nod to the Grinch who stole Christmas with the Joker, out to steal Christmas in Gotham.
I'm all for it.
Luke Wilson is voicing Batman.
I'm all for the creativity.
So that was and if you listen to the Batman voice, it's not it's not one of these whisper voices or anything like that. It's just regular.
How do you feel about bearded Batman?
The only thing that I think is that isn't that easier for people to put two and two together that Bruce Wayne is Batman? If Batman has a beard,
I don't know.
Bruce Wayne
I mean,
has
a lot of
beard?
people have beards, so
I don't mind I don't mind I just thought it was, the way they set it up, the joke, it was kind of funny in the trailer.
Yeah. I know, I get it. I just it's something I never really like. Bearded Batman. I've seen Superman with a beard. I've seen Superman with a mustache.
Are you reading anything in that Brave and the Bold anthology?
No.
Okay.
Are you enjoying it? I know Javi likes it.
There's a Batman story going on right now, and it's pretty good. Had a really cool twist. It was Batman with amnesia.
Interesting.
Forgot he was Bruce Wayne. Go check it out. Yeah. And there was one with the Joker, and it's not been hasn't finished yet.
That's
really
the Tom
good.
King one, right?
Tom King, yeah.
Everyone raves about that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's some good stuff. All right. So yeah, the Merry Little Batman comes out December 8th on Prime. I will check it out. Hopefully I get a screener and have an early review. If not, I'll watch it like everybody else.
Oh, this is on Prime. It's not on Max, huh?
So it's on Prime.
This is back when they licensed out their characters, or when everybody complained about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out for the better.
Hey, look, it's still produced by Warner Brothers Television and Warner Brothers Animation. It's just that being distributed, people it doesn't have to be on Max. Like the Cape Crusader, if it ever gets here, will be on Prime. They're the ones who picked it up. So
I remember when everyone freaked out.
Oh, they did freak out. They understand that they are still making money off of it. And they may make a little bit more by licensing it, for distribution to Prime than as opposed to just putting it on their own Max, where that's a whole different topic. So let me see, Merry Little Batman, anything or something you just mentioned. Oh, I talked about Cape Crusader. Sure. Hopefully, it's supposed to be on Prime. It'll come out soon. There's something. Okay, what was it? This is not on my topics, but I thought about it since we talked about going to, a Warner Brothers DC thing coming out on Prime. And it's not even DC, but it is Warner Brothers. It's this it's like the Coyote and Roadrunner. There's some movie.
Oh, to be honest,
Acme.
I haven't been following it because I really don't
Do you know what
care
I'm
about
talking about?
Yeah, I think they tried to Batgirl this movie and then they backtracked and they put it
Yeah.
out and now it's
Yeah.
being shopped around. Everyone's making a big deal about it. I could care less. I don't know what's going on. I haven't
Yeah,
really
the
heard.
only reason I bring it up is because, it was going to get the Batgirl treatment. And it got a bunch of backlash. So they're allowing the producers to shop it to be aired on a different platform, Prime, who knows, Netflix, whatever. So
I gotta say, Batgirl must have been really bad if they didn't do anything after that backlash. And they did.
I had someone tell me recently, who knew firsthand about Batgirl and said it was terrible. It was like brand damaging terrible.
Interesting.
But my point with this is I did see a lot of, response like, now do it with Batgirl. Let them.
To be honest, I could care less about Batgirl.
I can tell you it ain't happening. That's what I'm getting to finally is that they've already claimed the write-off on it. So
yeah, it's a done deal.
Legally impossible to release it or even shop it to anybody. So
to be brutally honest, I've seen a lot of people say what you just said, bring back, let's say Batgirl now. And that ship has sailed. I'm focused on whatever Superman legacy is going to be and whatever the DC universe is coming, whatever, however it comes and whatever Matt Reeves has in store. That's the focus. I'm not worried about the past. The past is the past.
It is.
Either I can watch it and enjoy it or I can't. And
well, look,
here's a Batgirl I can't, so I'm just going to move on.
Here's the way I look at it from my Batman fandom point of view. I got Merry Little Batman that's new. I can watch here in just a couple of weeks. All right. At some point next year, we're going to get the Penguin, part of the Batman saga on Max.
Epic crime saga, by the way.
Yes. And then not too long after that, 2025, which we say, oh my God, it's 2025. So long. No, it's not. The Dark Knight was how long ago? 15 years ago, we'll get the Batman Part 2. Plus, all this stuff, the Batman Part 2 will be filming here relatively soon, and we'll get casting announcements, and so it's all.
And I'm sure we'll get announcements about Brave and Bold, so we'll be able to talk about that as well. We've got more than enough to keep us occupied.
I am thinking that the Brave and the Bold is going to be a little while longer than we all suspected, or it was kind of felt like it was going to be, since it was announced as part of Phase 1 or whatever they're calling it, this Gods and Monsters. I think it's going to be. I have a feeling that they may wait till Reeves is finished.
If you ask me, that's exactly what I was going to say. When Mr. Reeves is ready to hand off the baton, he will hand it off. Until then, it's in his hands.
Mr. Reeves, Mystery, Enigma, Edward Nigma, Edward Nashton is Edward Nigma.
You did it. You are a detective.
He was in the Batman. It's all connected.
That's it.
That's why Matt Reeves was chosen to direct the Batman and had the Riddler in it, because he was Mr. Reeves, Mysteries, Enigmas.
That was his pitch. That's what he said to Warner Brothers.
He didn't pitch a story. He just pitched,
he pitched himself.
Mr. Reeves. Yeah.
Yes.
Heard that first here on Batman on Film.
That's it. Because it's a scoop site. It's a scoop site.
Yeah. Scoop site. Biggest scoop site ever.
20 years.
Yeah.
Scooping like Baskin Robbins.
25 years.
25 years.
Almost 26 years.
25. Wow. Look, I remember 20. Justin was making T-shirts and everything. That was 5 years ago.
And we got almost 6. Now we got
you old Texas hack. How'd you do it?
Magic.
Magic. Web TV. People don't even know what that is.
Have I ever told that story of how I started Batman on Film in 1998 on a web TV?
Thank you, Batman and Robin.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Oh, speaking of Batman and Robin, one last thing I promised.
You bought
did
all
you
the
order?
McFarlane figures.
Did you get all the McFarlanes for it?
Every damn one. You know I did. I can't
So
wait
you-
to put that Mr. Freeze together.
Oh, I was going to ask you. So you go put the Mr. Free? That makes me not happy because you know how I
Why?
am. Because I am anal and I keep them in the box. I don't take them
You could
out.
leave everyone in the box. Just take the Freeze parts out and put it together.
Yeah, I guess
You
so.
could literally leave the other figures in the box.
Then it's open. And my OCD will kick in and go like, this, technically it looks like it hasn't been open, but it is open.
So then take them out.
My OCD can't handle that.
I think you just
I've got
one or the other. You got to do something.
still have that McFarlane, that the movie, what the hell is it called? The movie set. It came out not long ago.
That 6-pack.
You got that, right?
Yeah, of course you did.
I got it on display, but it's just the box because I haven't taken anything out of it.
Well, that comes in a very special box. That's a different box. That box is
And
art.
then I got that Dark Knight Batman Joker 2-set Funko Pop, extra large size.
Oh, I don't do those things. Those are huge.
With the Dark Knight. I mean, they're not the big ones. Like that, they're the next size, not the little Funko Pop, the next size, not the big ones, but
Okay.
it's got the Dark Knight poster in the background, and it's got Batman Joker in it. I got them. It's sitting over there. It's still in the box too.
Now you know why the contractor's at the house, because he's getting the addition put on.
The foundation is starting to sink in the office here because all this Batman stuff. I was thinking the other day,
floor.
I have a second floor.
Third floor.
Jake's lives.
That's where the party was. That's why the house is leaking.
I don't know how I'm going to pack all this stuff up one day to move if and when we move out of here.
Bubble wrap.
All right.
And totes.
Yeah, I know, but golly, so much. All right, let's get on out of here. You gonna plug something?
You can follow me on social media at Pete Illustrated. You can follow my podcast that I co-host with Eric Holzman, the champion Long Island, at @straight_O_G. That's straight out of Gotham. Please give us a follow and a listen. I host a Spider-Man podcast, Italian Spider-Man Coalition. That's on Twitter at Italians for Spidey. I appear monthly on Ryan Lauer's The Batman Book Club. That's at the Batman BC. And I am all over BatmanOnFilm.com and Batman on Film YouTube. Me and Justin Kowalski did a Batman on Film podcast recently, and the main topic was Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, because we're hyping up that movie because the DCEU is coming and going, and we're going to give it a farewell tour. So that's that.
All right, so I'll just mention Batman-on-film.com. Everything's there that you may want to check out. Articles by all these guys, reviews, opinions, podcasts, whatever. A lot of and then there's a lot of Batman on Film history, not the site, but Batman on Film, literally Batman on Film, through the website. So just check it out. And now, so Rachel will finish up here. We will catch you next time.
You have been listening to the BOF Social Hour, Jett's official podcast on Batman on Film. Follow BOF on Threads at The Batman on Film. Follow BOF on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Batman on Film. To help keep BOF up and running, go to patreon.com/BatmanOnFilm, or you can buy BOF a beer at buymeacoffee.com/TheRealBatmanOnFilm. For Jett and everyone at BOF, I'm announcer Rachel. Authoritative, definitive, the original, Batman on Film, founded in 1998.